Soldiers, we need to break through the enemy defenses. Come on.
Hello, people, and welcome back to another Pulverizer, the singing hacker, being a noob playing MMOs. This time I'm playing Star Conflict, space game that I really like. Kind of remind me to EVE Online and remind me of pretty cool space games. And this game's actually is pretty decent. It's a free-to-play Russian game that has or have lots of chips and builds that you can make with them. You have PvP, you have PvE, you have PvP against artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence actually is way better than plays way better than most of the people. They do artificial intelligence in this game actually do game mechanics like or capture or focus people down and do all sort of stuffs. Right now I'm just doing PvE missions because I'm trying to make some money. Um, I'm playing a destroyer chip. It's a support chip. It is supposed to be a support chip. Um, I don't know what developers thinks what a support chip is, but this ship actually hits from a very long distance, can take a lot of damage, has a big arsenal of weapons like AoE damage weapons or crazy damage weapon. This chip can jump like a wormhole that you can warp to different distances. This chip has repair drones that can help you repair when you take damage on your hull. If you're full repair, it will heal people that is close to you. There are different ways to build a destroyer. You can build it for speed, you can build it for damage, you can build it for resistance like I do for tanking setups. Um, there's way different forms to build a destroyer that is basically crazy. This game has crazy features. I like it. If you guys are watching this, I recommend you to download it. If you're a fan of games like Galactic Starfighters from Star Wars, this can bring you good memories when Galactic Starfighter was a good game, when no one was crying around, getting owned, just playing and trying to do stuff. Has same mechanics like capture flags, capture satellites. Uh, used to have a kill captain that I like that mode a lot. Kill the captain, you had to. A person was randomly selected as a captain, and you had to defend him. That person had to like fly around crazy, not to get killed. And I really do recommend this game a lot. After this match, I'm gonna show everyone how many chips in game there are. There are basically three races in the game. It's the Federation, the I totally forgot the names of the races. I don't really pay attention to it. This Federation and it's some sort of reminds like EVE Online races. There's actually one race that looks pretty much like Amar. Um, There's like the Federation, Galactic Empire. I think this the other one. There's like the good guys, the bad guys, and the guys that they don't give a big F about anyone else. The story has nothing to do with the game. This game doesn't have any story-driven storyline. There's nothing like that. Um, but but depending on the race you're choosing, chips vary on the resistance or what they can actually really do on battle. Um, there is a race that specializes in shields, has a lot of shields and shield resistance. There's another race that has, for example, like this one that I'm flying right now, has a lot of hull, like a huge hull, and has a huge hull resistance, so you can hold tank. And there's different setups, and depending on the chips you have, what you want to play, what you want to do. Every setup is very, very, very crucial to what you have. Another thing I like to talk about this game is that it's free to play game. It's a really free to play game. People like to cry about a lot of that this is a pay to win game. It certainly has some pay to win um, form of payments that you can access chips just like to buy them right ahead. You buy a chip from the tier you want to buy it, and um, but that doesn't make the chip any good. That doesn't make you a good pilot. Having a fully upgraded chip against a person that actually really know how to fly, or a group of people that is flying with you, is a huge difference. Doesn't matter if you have a premium chip, that's how we call them. Doesn't matter if you have a premium chip, if you don't know how to fly it, if you don't know how to do tactics, if you don't want to play, group, like go capture satellites, or target what you have to target first. When you're doing PvP, you're doomed. That's it, period. It doesn't matter how good the chip is. There is no pay to win chips. Uh, as I said, you can buy chips right away, but they are not OP. Every chip has its advantages and disadvantages, and I really like that from the game. Um, you can basically have everything inside the game. There's nothing that you cannot have. Obviously, there are DSL chips that you have to buy with real money if you're like the type of person that like to collect chips. If you like to collect chips, well, after each match you do from PvE, sorry for the interruption, you get rewards if you are free to play. If you're not paying for anything, you get a rare reward and three other classic rewards, like regular rewards. As always, I'm first. Yeah. So okay, you get experiences if you finish the match. Da, 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 da. So this is the chip line. So you have the Empire. All right. The Empire has like all the chips are divided in the game. You have ECM chip styles. You have these recon chips. You have gun chips? You have command chips. You have tackler chips. I'm gonna explain each of them. You have long range chips. You have frigate guard chips. You have frigate engineer chips, and you have suppressor class, support class, destroyer chips. All right, and this on this side is premium and unique chips. All right, so let's get started. You have pretty quick fast type of chips. Okay, this one's here. This ones are called interceptor class chips. Okay, so the interceptor class chips are very, very, very fast chips. If you click on this, it will give you like a little bit of explanation what the chips can do and what they can't do. Uh, the interceptor class chips are very, very fast chips that can go from 500 to 800 meters per second. That's crazy velocity. It's a crazy speed, trust me. People sometimes tell me that this game is slow because I've tried to get people from Galactic Starfighter from Star Wars to this game, but they didn't want to come because they say that there's nothing better than GSF. That's how we call it on Star Wars Old Republic. But those days are long gone, for me at least. And you can play this game. You have insta queues. You don't have to wait that much for playing the game and having fun. And for example, people like me that wants to sit down for a quickie and oh, that's those messages are corporation losing their space. I'm explaining. There's a lot of things to explain in this wonderful game. So going back to the chips, is this type of chips are the interceptors. There are squishy chips with lower resistance, but each of them are designed for a purpose. For example, the ECM type of chips are electronic warfare frigates, right? The chips, I don't know, small aircraft, all right? So, for example, the ECM one has this special model. Each chip has a special model, and that's on the F button on your keyboard. And every time you press that F, wonderful thing happens. And on this chip, the ECM, what it does is that it temporarily creates an invulnerability shield around you. No one can hit you, no one can do nothing on you, you cannot be bumped, interrupt, or whatever you think you can do. It simply surrounds you for a couple of seconds. I think it's for like 4 or 5 seconds, I don't remember. And after that, it creates an ECM explosion around you, and everything caught up in that explosion. And I can guess it's a 2000 meter. Every time I see an ACM chip doing that bubble, I run away from it, because when you get inside that explosion, your chip is toast. You lose control of your chip for 2 or 3 seconds. You lose control of your chips. You cannot use modules, so you are vulnerable to attacks from that chip or other chips around you. And basically you're toast, you're dead for 4 seconds. You can't fly, you can do nothing. The chip will move all by itself to whatever position you were going. It has all sort of modules for electronic warfare. It can disable chips from using guns. It can disable uh, that you can fly your chip, that you can actually fly your chip, like it shut it down. It will shut your chip down and will start flying randomly to wherever your chip was facing to. This is an awesome chip for those time sort of things. uh, if you're flying with friends, this is a very good chip to get, because you can go with your friends and like target. Okay, let's target this guy. Let's target that guy. And you can chop them down. You can do a lot of stuff. You can drain energy from your enemies. It has homing missiles that when they explode, everyone inside that area will have their energy drained. It's amazing. It's an amazing ship. I love it. Then you have Recon chips. Recon chips are a very, very, very fast interceptor type of chips. They have a special module on the F, like I said. On your keyboard, that's a default key for using the special modules on each chip. This one has a micro warp engine. Every time you use it, you will micro warp forward 5,000 meters. All right. It will like take 1 to 2 seconds while you're using it, and boom, you're flying forward. This type of chips are used literally for playing matches where you have to capture beacons. All right, the maps in the game are actually very, very, very huge. That's why people think the game is slow, but actually the maps are huge, and when you're trying to reach like from one point to another point, and you're going 800 meters per second, and you're like, oh, this is slow, this is slow. I cannot handle it, but actually it's because it's so huge, looks like real time. But if you're duck fighting, uh-oh, something went bad with my stream. I think something went back with my stream. What happened? What happened? Give me an error. Okay, I'll continue doing it. If it goes down, I'll delete it. Alright. So, this type of recon ships has spy drones. Spy drones basically are there's a type of chip in the game. This one is a tackler chip. This one has a special model that can cloak. All right. So the counterpart for that chip is this one that has a spy drones. Spy drones is basically you throw a module on people, a drone, and what it does is that the people cannot clock out. You cannot clock out. You cannot disappear. Even if you go far away from me, I will still see you in the map. The game has a great thing that you have certain range. What you can that's your like radar. You have a special radar that you can look so far away. And this type of chips, this recon chip, has the biggest radar of them all. It can literally see the entire map, and it also drops a micro locator. It's over here. It says deploy a micro locator detecting all enemy ships on the radar, including invisible ships. All right. So what this one does, and people does in matches, is that they jump. This type of chip jump from where you're spawning to the other side of the map, and you try to locate this micro locator outside your enemy view so they cannot see it, and you drop that there. And if you go back to your friends, uh, each chip on this game, I have to say, you have a radar, right? And when you locate someone, it will locate it for everyone else in the map. It will show. It's like you're snitching on people, right? So this is the snitcher chip. So when you drop that microlocator, basically what it does is you start sending signals to your team where the enemy is at. If you're fighting against a tackler ship that has the cloaking device module, if that is dropped down, the guy is literally, it will pop up back again from his cloak. Um, this chip is basically for that. It does a lot of damage, but it's a very squishy chip, and it will blow up very fast. So I'm continuing with the cover-ups. If you see this race, the Empire race, all right, doesn't have a cover-ups chip. Okay, it is not in the chip tree. Okay, but the Federation do have cover-ups, and Federation doesn't have ECM chips. If you see, there's non ECM chips. This is what I was talking about earlier when I was saying there's some sort. If you change, for example, see over here, this guy doesn't have tacklers, but Federation do have tacklers, and Empire do have common chips, but Federation do not have common chips. And the Jericho, this is one of my favorite type of chips because they're beautiful. They're just beautiful design. They don't have engineers, they don't have gunships and whatever, right? So let's continue. So let's go with the cover-up chips that only the Great Federation has them. All right, so these cover-up chips, I'm gonna show you one. I'm gonna show you the first one. This is the first one. This is the first Federation um, interceptor they gave. This is the Swift. It's a pretty cool chip. Okay, so the cover ups are the DPS of the interceptor class type fighting chips. On a special F module, like I said, has something called the plasma web. The plasma web is something that you throw at people, and it does damage directly to the whole of the chip you're fighting. It's pretty good for fighting tackler chips, because the tackler chips, when they receive damage for whatever source they receive, they will come out of a clock. They're on clock side of the force. So when you hit the plasma web, the minute the plasma web start taking that damage over time, and then boop, they pop up. This plasma web is also very good if you're fighting against another interceptor and you are caught up in a dogfight with them, in an infinite dogfight where you're flying in circles and your enemy is also flying in circles and you're trying to overcome that flying in circles stuff. If your enemy is in a little bit of hole left, you can plasma web him and he will be toast, dying from damage over time. It's pretty cool. I like it. So it has the Orion targeting complex. It's basically it will improve the critical and weapon damage, your main weapon damage, like crazy, for a couple of seconds. It has the plasma arc. When I started playing the game, the plasma arc wasn't that used at all. Was not used at all. But now that the suppressor class chips, the big chips you guys saw that I was playing at PvE part, actually the plasma arc chip now is very useful because it deals a great lot of damage. But when you're using the plasma arc, your chip is unstable. It's unstable that because it's the damage that it does doesn't arc in front of your chip like you're like an arrow. All right, it looks like you're like an arrow, energy arrow going forward. Um, but what it actually does is super huge damage on whatever you have in front. Basically, you're one-shotting whatever you have in front of you. But your chip stability, your maneuverability, the strafe and the rotation of the chips go crazy. If you move a little bit, you will be out of the range or whatever target you have in front of you. But because the suppressor class's chips are so huge and slow, this module is back on vogue again, so it does a huge amount of damage on whatever is front of you. You have to be actually on top of the person, like bumping him, alright? And this chip also have something called adaptive camo. Higher level tiers of this chip has several modules that can camo you. You can camouflage. You don't disappear. You don't cloak out. You just become invisible. All right. You cannot be targeted. But here's the tricky part about how to kill this. This is a little secret you can use. The cover-ups. The cover-ups, guys. If you actually, the guy uses the camo in front of you, if you're actually looking at the guy where he's moving, you can shoot at him. You can still shoot at him. Sometimes he will come out of the camo, or if the guy is dumb enough, like if you camo, you have to throw some flares and try to get out of wherever you are. But this is the DPS quick chip, one of the quickest ones for the small versions, I may say, from the interceptor classes. All right, so we're going now with the these guys. Okay, so there's another thing that I like from this game. If you see, the interceptor class are or triangles, right? So the other ones, this type of ships, they are called the fighters. If you see, it says fighter, tackler. All right, the fighter ships are a little bit bigger than the interceptor class. All right, this is the interceptor class. This is the fighter class. Okay. So the fighter classes are a little bit bigger, they do a little bit more damage, and they are a little bit more fun, but they are easier to kill. Alright? So you have gunships. Gunships are the DPS class of the fighter type of chips. The gunships are the ones that do the huge damage. They can drop the bombs on you and you will be blown away. And that will add later on an effect when I say blown away effect on my voice. So you have this special model on the F. It's called overdrive. Every time you use it, your rate of fire increases, your speed increase, your strafe increase, your rotation everything you have increases, the regeneration of your shields, uh everything increases. This is the best module the gunship has. uh my credit score has arrived. Oh my god. Okay, so I guys, I think I have to go. So the overdrive makes everything super fast. If you have a weapon, start like and it has this ship has volley missiles. You can there's something called like the octopus. Let me, I don't remember the name. Let me check it out real quick. Real quick, it has the firestorm. Okay, the Firestorm is a volley of 5 unguided missiles that do 11,550 damage on your face. And if you see over here, the survivability of my chip is 11,659. So, what does it mean? If you're standing like a dumb ball in the space without moving and someone uses these missiles on you, you can say bye bye to the world. Alright? You can say bye bye to the world because you're just standing there. It's a space game. You don't stand in space, you don't go standing around like doing nothing. Okay, so the gunship has everything that has to do with damage. You have the aiming overcharge and increase the critical. You have that override. You have the missiles. You have everything to come in and blaze someone out of the oblivion, and you will be happy. So every chip has that. Gunship has that. They're super awesome. You have the command chips from the fighter. I'm gonna try to finish this up really quick. The command ship on the same line of the fighters. These are the support class of the fighters. They can give chill resistance, hold resistance, speed boost. They basically are the boosters of the fighter ships. It has passive and active modules. The same, there's modules that can give both. Every time you activate them, the bonus from the whole chill and speed that you're giving, actually you're boosting them up, but after you're using it you have to wait it for recharge. So the bonuses you were given to people are no longer. You have to wait for the modules to recharge back again. You have, for example, like the Valkyrie system that you increase people's damage. You passively get shields. That's what I said. This is basically a support ship. If you're the kind of guy that likes to help people out, and you like to stay around, and you like to stay back, and you like just to shoot people from afar, this is your very good support ship. If you're looking right now, it ships. If you actually are paying attention to what I'm saying, to the blabberish I'm saying, you can see now how you can combine tactics. For example, you can combine a command ship with damage and a gunship, and you will be oblivioning people out. All right. So also you have the tackler ship. This is one of my special ships. This is basically the assassin of the ships. You cloak in. Every time you cloak in and you come back out from your cloak, your damage is boost for a short period of time. It's like 5 seconds, but it's increased like 30 to 40%, something crazy, crazy, crazy. It has everything in this tackler ship, like its name said. It has everything to slow down people. Everything, everything. It's basically a tackler ship. You can slow down people to zero. You can literally leave the people standing there, and in this game, being standing in a place is a no-no because there are factors here in the game that matter. For example, the tracking velocity of your side, how fast your ammunition is going. You have laser ammunition, you have kinetic ammunition, you have EM ammunition. Every one of them has a special ability, a special thing. Some goes fast, some go slow. So the one that goes fast are do less damage. The one that goes slow are super huge damage. So this tackler ship basically is for holding down ships like the ECM or like the recon ship or like the cover up ship. And if you slow down one of those ships, they're literally dead because they don't have enough hull or shield. So this ship is basically for that. It also, on a higher level grade, the tackler ship can drop drones. All right. So for example, if you're in a dogfight with someone and you have a slow setup, you can basically slow the people down, their rotation, everything. So if, for example, you can slow down their rotation so they cannot turn back, and you can be on their backside of, on the back of the ship, and you would start shooting at them. There's nothing they can't do because you cannot shoot backwards. All right. So what people does is they will freeze you to death. They will go behind you. They will drop both of the drones, clock in, clock out, and boom, you're dead. All right. And the next ships, basically the Guardian. These are the frigate ships, the bigger ones. They're designed with a square. You have the long range. The long range comes in two versions. One version is a sniper, regular sniping, huge amount of damages. But the sniping on this game is no fun. It's no easy. You have to actually be. Uh, you need to have a good aiming and a good rig of computer to try to shoot up something. If you're trying to shoot an interceptor sheet, it's almost impossible. Long range chips are used to destroy bigger chips. That's how I see it. That's how I play it. You have long range. There's one that has a sniper setup, and there's the other one that has like a missile, like a torpedo. You throw the torpedo, and you basically drive the torpedo wherever you want to drive it, and then boom, it will explode. It's an awesome ship for that. It can clock in like a sniper, drop minefields, whatever. You have the Guardian ship. The Guardian ship, there's no brainer here. This is the tank of the game. Has defense on the shields. Can slow people down. Does AOE damage. This is basically the chip you use to try to take over a satellite, a node. Okay, you're coming in, you're hard. If you come in with friends with an engineer chip and a common chip, you're basically almost unstoppable, and you're doing DPS damage. You're all around you, and you're throwing minefields, and you're very hard to kill. If you come with an engineer who will help you out, and I'm gonna tell you what is an engineer. The engineer is the healer of the game. It's a very, very, very big ship, a hard ship. It has the F. His special ability is that we will heal everyone around it, around you. You spawn drones every time, and you explode the drone, and you heal everyone around you with your shields. And it has special modules like mass shield generator. Okay, mass shield generator is something that will repair everyone around shields. You have the autonomous charging stations, that is basically like a station you drop in, and people that will pass by over there will repair his shields, his hulls. This is the most on GSF, like if I will say, this is like the war carrier, or well, the bomber type of chips. You know, you're repairing people, you're dropping mines. This one doesn't drop mines, but you can spawn drones, and the drones will attack whatever it comes around you. And guys, for today, this is it. This is it for me for today, because I really have to go. Thanks for listening to my blabberish. I hope you guys enjoy this. I will try to make more videos of me playing, uh, and I will try to speak to you guys. I like to speak a lot, and I wander a lot around by the branches. But I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation of Star Conflict. I hope people play more Star Conflict. There's a very good community. There's a very nice games. The people is not toxic at all, and people actually helps and win. Uh, I hope you guys can see my next stream. And this is Pulverizer, the singing hacker from uh, previous games I've played before, like Star Wars or Allots Online or World of Warcraft. So this is Pulverizer. See you guys later on my next stream, and bye bye.